The next morning, Gillon rose early. It was always interesting to be on the beach after a storm. He picked up a chunk of green glass and squinted through it. He found a ball that still had some bounce left. He was rooting about among a tangle of seaweed when he heard a noise. It was the sound of someone sobbing. Gillon looked around. The sobbing was coming from his treasure cave in the upturned rowing boat. Gillon knelt down to peer inside, and from the darkness 2 wide dark eyes stared at him. "Who are you?" "I'm a Selkie," a girl's voice whispered. "Why are you hiding in there?" "I lost my sealskin. Without it I can't go back into the water and swim away. Can you see it anywhere?" Gillon looked along the beach. "No," he said, "and I've been searching the beach for treasure all morning." "Treasure?" asked the Selkie girl. "What kind of treasure?" "Oh, this and that," said Gillon. "Why don't you come out and take a look for yourself? Together we might find your sealskin." "I need some clothes to wear." So Gillon ran to the washing line and unpegged one of his shirts and a plaidie shawl that had been hung there to dry. The Selkie girl put on the shirt and wrapped the plaidie shawl round her waist like a skirt. They searched the beach all day, but they couldn't find the sealskin. Nor was there any trace of it in the days that followed. And at night time, Gillon asked if he might have some food for his friend who'd come to live in his treasure cave. His mummy smiled and said, "Of course you may." His daddy patted his head and said, "Don't forget something to drink." As the days and then the weeks passed, Gillon decided that he didn't really want to find the sealskin. He taught the Selkie girl to skim stones, and she taught him how to surf the waves. She showed him how to make a necklace from shells, and he showed her how to make puzzles from knotted string. They had fun all day long, but if the Selkie girl saw or heard anyone else on the beach, she ran and hid beneath the boat. They played together for the rest of the summer and into the autumn until one evening Gillon's daddy came home with a piece of news. "A schoolhouse has opened in the village. Children must go there and learn how to read and write and count numbers up to 100 or more." "I don't want to go to school," said Gillon. "But you'll make friends at school," his mummy said. "I already have a friend," said Gillon. Gillon's daddy looked at Gillon's mummy and asked her, "Have you ever seen this friend that he speaks of?" Gillon's mummy shook her head and said, "The sooner our son is in school, the better." Gillon went to school and he began to learn to read and write and count numbers up to 100 and more. But although he ran around the schoolyard with his schoolmates during the day, when school was over, he ran home as fast as he could to play with his Selkie friend. Then they played together for the rest of the autumn and into the winter until one evening Gillon's daddy came home with another piece of news. "You see that old cottage at the top of the cliff? A new family has moved in. There's a girl there of Gillon's age, and tomorrow she'll be going to the school." That night the sun began to set early. "It's the winter solstice," said Gillon's mummy, "the shortest day of the year." "Will the Selkies return tonight?" Gillon asked, while he collected food and drink to take to his treasure cave as he did every night. "They might," said Gillon's daddy. "It's a night for strange happenings. See what I found among the fish I caught today." And he held up what looked like a sheet of shimmering grey silk. "What is it?" said Gillon's mummy. "I truly do not know." But Gillon knew exactly what it was, and he also knew what he must do with it. "May I have it?" he asked. His daddy gave it to him, and Gillon carried it, and the meal he'd prepared for the Selkie girl, out into the gathering gloom. "Don't delay too long," his mummy called after him. "You must come into the cottage before the Selkies arrive on the beach." The Selkie girl gave a little sob as Gillon handed her the sealskin his father had caught with his fish. She held it up to her cheek and stroked it. Then she looked at Gillon and whispered, "Thank you." Gillon turned away before she would see the tears in his own eyes. His parents watched him as the sails came ashore and danced in their human forms by the seashore. But only Gillon saw the Selkie girl creep from the upturned boat, skip lightly to the water's edge, don her sealskin and swim away. In the morning, when Gillon's mummy opened their front door, she exclaimed, "Oh, look, Gillon! Look at what's lying on top of that old boat. Is that your shirt?" And my plaidie shawl that went missing from the washing line months ago. The wind must have blown them away and blown them back again. Gillon scanned the sea, and he walked to the school that morning, but there was neither seal nor Selkie in the waters. There was a new girl in school, and she was the one whose family had moved into the cottage on the cliff near where Gillon lived. The teacher placed her at the desk beside Gillon's and asked for her name. "My name is Sela," said the girl in a soft voice. "Why, that's a beautiful name," said their teacher. "Do you know what it means?" "Yes, I do," said Sela. She turned and looked at Gillon. "It means, let those with eyes see, and those with ears hear." After school, Gillon walked home with the new girl. They parted at the top of the path that led down to the beach. Gillon's mummy was standing outside their cottage. "Who is that?" she asked him. "It's the girl from the cottage on the cliff," said Gillon. "Why don't you ask her to come down and play with you?" Gillon raised his hand and waved. "Sela!" he called. "Would you like to come and play on the beach?" The girl waved back and began to run towards him. While Gillon waited for his new friend to join him, he murmured her name again. "Sela, Sela, Sela." And as he did, he realised that Sela sounds quite like Selkie. I hope you enjoyed the story of the Selkie girl, boys and girls. And there are a few questions for you to answer. Please answer them in full sentences with capital letters and finger spaces and full stops. Thank you. Take care.